The Detroit Red Wings are pretty average when it comes to size. Their average height right now is 6'1", and they have a ton of guys on their team who are in that 6'0", 6'1", 6'2" kind of range. So, it's very interesting to take a look at some of the Red Wings prospects that are in their system, the ones that veer towards one side of the height spectrum. You got some guys who are a little bit smaller, and you got some guys who are a little bit bigger. In today's video, we're talking about a guy who is very, very big. Probably the next big giant in Detroit for the Red Wings down the line. We're talking today about 6th round pick in the 2019 NHL Entry Draft, Elmer Söderblom. A 6'7", 227-pound forward. And I say forward because this guy can play center, this guy can play left wing, and this guy can play right wing. All forward positions, Söderblom has them covered. And as a guy who is only 18, drafted in the most recent NHL Entry Draft, it's exciting to see the development path that Söderblom has taken to get to this point. Hey Lego, what the heck are you doing, man? Why are you talking about a 6th round pick? What's there to discuss about a 6th round pick? Well, I think there's a little bit more than meets the eye with this player. And a lot of that does have to do with how things are this year compared to how things were last year when he was playing in his draft year. His draft year was not too great. Söderblom was playing with Frölunda's J20 team in the Superelit, had 17 points in 44 games, which isn't amazing. You take a look at those numbers and you're like, that's really not that great. A 17-year-old playing against 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. He's getting 17 points in 44 games. I mean, it's okay. It's not top tier, but hey, the guy's big. Let's use a draft pick on him. That's kind of the philosophy that I'm trying to apply to the pick back when the Red Wings made it. But if you're looking at it today, Söderblom looks like a pretty good acquisition. Because last year he did only have 17 points in 44 Super Elite games, but he took some big strides. And this year, in 26 Super Elite games, Söderblom has 47 points. The guy is way over a point per game. The guy absolutely obliterated his point per game mark of his draft year. He's gotten more ice time, he's gotten more of a role on the team, and he's gotten way more dominant. And you'd probably expect that, right? The guy's 18, 6'7", 227 pounds, playing against other 18, 19, 20-year-olds. It's only natural that a player this skilled and this big could dominate at this level, right? Well, he's dominated so much that he actually received a promotion to the Frölunda's main hockey team in the SHL, you know, the team that has Lucas Raymond, etc. He played 10 games in a very limited role, got 0 points, but recently, Frölunda's Junior 20 team in the Super Elite loaned Elmer Söderblom over to the Tingsryd AIF in the Allsvenskan. So this is the AHL of Sweden that Söderblom got loaned to, which I think is a very, very positive step in his development path. Because if he wasn't good enough to get a mainstay role in the SHL, and he's obviously way too good for the Super Elite, the Junior 20 League, then sending him to the Allsvenskan seems like a very, very happy medium. So who exactly is Elmer Söderblom, and why is he doing this well? Well, I think it's because he has a really weird skill set that allows him to actually thrive against U20 competition. We said it. He's 6'7". This is a big guy. He's a giant out there on the ice, especially playing against other junior players. However, because he is 6'7", there is that stereotype that, oh, he's a power forward, he bodies his way to the net, and he likes to hit people. No, that's actually where you're kind of wrong there. Elmer Söderblom isn't really all too physical. Last year in his draft year, he only had 12 penalty minutes in 44 games, and this year, he only had 8 penalty minutes in 26 games. So, Söderblom isn't really a guy who likes to use the body all too much in a very physical way that could risk penalties. Instead, Söderblom is kind of like a 6-foot skilled player in a 6'7" player's body. He likes to stick handle. He likes to use his skating to protect a puck. He likes to dangle his way through with some really nice, intricate little moves with the puck, and he likes to shoot it a lot too. Söderblom exhibits all these very pristine and soft touches on the puck that really defile his characteristic profile of a big 6'7" winger. He's a guy who, honestly, has gotten the majority of his points this year via his stick work and his smarts out there on the ice. He's definitely able to shield the puck with his body really well, and that's something that he defines as one of his biggest strengths out there on the ice. It's very obvious to see why, right? The guy's big. If you're trying to protect the puck, being bigger helps. And that's exactly how he's able to use his frame to help him. Combine that with the nice stick handling, the nice shot, and the overall solid offensive awareness, and you have a player who's able to jump up in the score sheet from 17 points in 44 games to over a point per game, almost 2 points a game in the matter of months. Söderblom was taken in the 6th round because his draft year wasn't all too great. But now, because he's played in the SHL, because he got loaned over to the Allsvenskan, I think this is such an underrated pick for the place that the Red Wings got him, that the sky is the limit here for Söderblom. When you have a player who is this big and who exhibits this style of hockey, it's really difficult to label a ceiling. And I know I said he plays this style of hockey that's really pristine and it's really skilled-based. It's not like Söderblom doesn't have a feisty side either. Back at the Detroit Red Wings development camp, he actually got into a little bit of a shoving match where punches were thrown and shoves were definitely dished out with fellow Red Wings prospect Albin Greva, who in his own right is a completely different style than Söderblom. Greva is like Marchand pretty much. He's always running out there, he's always got that motor going, he's a hothead completely, easy to tick off, and believe me, when you tick off Albin Greva, he definitely gets in your face, and you will not see a good end to that. Söderblom and Greva did have a little bit of an altercation there, which is really, really interesting to see. But overall, I think that does speak volumes to Söderblom and his engagement in the game as well. Not being prone to having an Albin Greva annoying type player shove you around and all that stuff. He stood up for himself. So that was very interesting to see. But again, the majority of his game is indeed skill-based. When it comes to NHL potential with Elmer Söderblom, I have no idea. No idea. 6th round picks are not supposed to really make the NHL at all, but ignoring the fact that he was taken in the 6th round and only looking at the progression upwards that Söderblom has displayed, there is a chance that he does eventually make the AHL. He becomes a mainstay in Grand Rapids and maybe even earns a call-up to the main club once in a while. And if he is able to do that, I see him as a really nice bottom 6 complementary piece, a guy who can definitely control the play physically by protecting the puck in the offensive zone, and who could probably get out there on some penalty kill once in a while. I'm not too sure. Have some big guys out there in the PK. That doesn't sound like a bad idea, doesn't it? But obviously, with a player who has increased his production so much, like Söderblom has, there's really no telling how good his offensive ceiling can be. Taking a look at his draft year and trying to judge it just from that, you wouldn't really think that there was all too much to be discovered, but seriously, the guy absolutely improved, and he started scoring points like crazy. So much to the point that he's now in the Allsvenskan, the 2nd-tier league in Sweden. So that's a huge step up for a guy who was taken in the 6th round, and a guy who definitely has one of the more interesting stories coming out of the 2019 NHL Entry Draft for the Detroit Red Wings. So whether or not he makes the league one day, I'm not too sure. But today, we have ourselves a really, really interesting prospect in Elmer Söderblom. Hope you enjoyed this video. So, and bye.